we're back.
And we're live. Bye. I said, and we're live. I'm an idiot.
People missed the beginning of that, which was me prefacing it. Are you sure you're ready, Johnny? You need to take a minute? Do you? No, I got it. I'm ready. We just finished our Instagram live. I don't know if we discussed, we don't have to talk about it here because we discussed all the name change possibilities and whether we should change the name. So if you want that, we're going to post the link to it on the Patreon. And it should take you to the Instagram where you can rewatch our Instagram live and see what we discussed. But how about what's going on right now in your life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We didn't really say hello. Johnny cut himself somehow. He's a little worried about that.
But we're, you know what? It's coagulating. Is that the word?
That is the word, I think. That's good news. That means you have thick blood.
Yeah. And I don't. I actually don't. I know I was on blood thinners, but I was on blood, but I'm not on them. So it's probably normal blood now.
But you must have thick blood because they put you on blood thinners.
Yeah, but I think that's out of fear that you'll have a stroke on the heart medicine that I'm not on anymore either. Like if you take these beta blocker things,
it makes your blood thicker.
It makes your blood thicker, or it makes it so that it clots or it doesn't clot. I don't know. Whatever.
Oh, I see.
But
so you were taking the one to outdo the thing that the other one's doing.
Yes.
But then what you decided was, I'll just stop taking them both, and then my blood will be normal.
That's right.
It's genius by you.
That's what we're doing with here.
So you got normal blood. I got normal blood. We're off to a good start.
Yeah, I do. Do you have any pre-show banter?
Yeah, I do. Well, I have a discussion point because I don't think it rises to the level of a topic. Okay. But here's my pre-show discussion point. So we went out for breakfast at this place. Right? We love this spot. It's called New Deal Cafe. And it's great because it's normally not that crowded, but it's good food and it's in our neighborhood. So good breakfast spot. And it's an order at the counter, but then they bring the food to you. Right?
Okay.
So you get a number. It's that style. So I'm in line. It's a long line, probably the longest I've ever seen. We go on Sunday morning. That might have been the problem. And it's a long line. And I'm like, oh, man, that's going to be a wait, but whatever. Ginger's off playing in the corner with Heidi. They have a little kid play area. And so I'm holding our place in line. It's slow, moving slow. And then this couple and two kids come in, and they're in line behind me. And then there's a couple in line in front of me, right? And then all of a sudden, the dad, he cuts me in line and he starts talking to this couple, and they're like, hey, there you are, like all this, like we just met. But so you're like, oh, they're the same group. I'm like, all right, whatever, I guess they can cut. But they start introducing themselves, like, I'm Jeremy, hi, this is Kevin, this is my wife Sarah, these are my kids. Like no one knew each other. So I was like, is this a blind date between two couple? I think what happened was they were like neighbors or something, but they just went ahead of me. And then the kid even said, Dad, we're cutting. And he says to the kid, oh, it's okay, we're all one group. But I'm like, it's not like
you're being. Did he look at you when he said it? Like, oh no, it's okay, we're all one group.
He did. He kind of, because I don't have a good poker face, like I clearly was like upset about it.
You cut.
Well, that wasn't the face I wasn't looking like Macaulay Culkin in Home Alone after he slapped himself with aftershave. I was being like kind of had like a mad face.
Yeah.
I was like this.
Angry boy.
I'm grumpy.
Sure.
I
apologize for how foolish I made you look.
Yeah, don't make me look like an idiot. I look like the bitter beer guy from the Keystone Light commercials.
Yeah.
So my point being if it's order at the counter, you don't cut because you can just still sit with your party wherever you want. If you want to sit
Yep.
with these guys, go sit with them. You're just gonna have to wait a few more minutes to for your food to come, and you get a separate number. But it's not like you're all being seated at a table by a hostess. Like I get that. Then you can all
Yeah.
go, of course, together, right?
Yeah, totally.
You don't cut in that situation. That would be
Even
my
if he had said, did it pacify you when he said that to his son? Oh, we're all one group.
no, not at all.
Yeah, I would have been like, I would still be mad about it today.
Now, if they were literally like in the same family or whatever, I guess. But then when they started introducing themselves to each other, I was like losing my mind.
You should have like walked past them to the group in front of that group and be like, "Hey, I'm Andrew. Hi, what's your name? I didn't. Oh, you're Susan. Oh, okay,
Oh, it's
cool."
so great to see you. I see you in the neighborhood all the time. Do you love this place too? Yeah, I love this place. Yeah, this is fun. We finally got to do this.
I love this place too. Sometimes the clientele is kind of rude, but I like the
Yeah,
eating
people
here.
cut. Can you believe people cut in line?
Can you believe people
We're
cut?
we're all one group. It's okay.
It's cool.
Yeah,
It's cool, you ugly asshole. We're one
yeah.
group.
Stupid piece of shit. And your dumb
Yeah.
kids. You should listen to your dumb kids. Yeah, I don't know. So that was a pre-show discussion topic.
All right. Well, I got
like,
a restaurant related pre-show discussion topic. So
hit
we
me.
went out for this was last week. We went out to eat at a restaurant. We're like, oh, what should we do? And like, oh, we're gonna go out. And we're trying to cut corn, like save money because we're trying to go to Disney in February or whatever. So we're like, all right, let's try to keep expenses low. And like, all right, well, we'll go. We should treat, the kids. It's the summer. Let's go. So we go to this restaurant. I'm like, all right, we can go. We'll just, keep it cheap. So we go to this restaurant. We're sitting there. They hand out all the menus. They don't have kids menus. And so it's like $16, for everything. Even for mac and cheese. And I was like, okay, I know what I want. I'm deciding between a cheeseburger with, just plain ketchup, mustard, and cheese, or buffalo chicken mac and cheese. That's what I was excited for. Aaron was like, hey, what if you split regular mac and cheese with Phoebe? I was like, I don't want that. That's not what I want. Like, well, but we're trying to save money. Like, yeah, I know, but you asked me if I like that, or like, would that be good? And I said, no, because that's not what I want. And then she's like, all right, you split that with her, and then I'll split a burger with you. And I was like, and then she's like, so you'll get enough food. You'll get half of that and half of this. And I was like, And so she ordered the burger, and you're like, oh, do you want everything on that? And my wife's like, yeah, everything on the lettuce. And I was like, and I like made an audible noise, and I was like, I'm not getting what I want.
I'm grumpy.
I'm grumpy. I'm not happy.
Johnny's grumpy.
She's like, what? What is the problem? I was like, well, nothing. We decided, all right, let's go out, let's treat ourselves, and I am not getting what I want. What do you
That's
mean you're not
it.
getting what you want? What did
We're
you
going
want?
to Culver's on the way home.
Yeah, I should have. So I'm sitting there picking up, and then I look like I'm the oh, you're not getting what you want. You're being so selfish. No, yes, I am. I'm just saying I'm picking off lettuce and bits and tomato and eating a children's, a big thing of mac and cheese.
I I mean, here's what I hear when you're saying all this, because you're like, we went out for dinner, but we're trying to save money because we're going to want to go to Disney. I'm just impressed that your guys' brains can do that work where you're like, because you're like, it's saving $16 tonight is going to equate to having somewhat better time at Disneyland in February. It's just my brain can't do that. I mean, like, I'm 38 years old. If I want to fucking mac and cheese with buffalo chicken in it, or I'm just gonna get it. And if it means our Disneyland trip sucks, then that's or my credit card bill goes up.
Future Johnny's
like
problem.
I cannot do that equation.
Yeah.
Or just like I would be, my argument would be, hey, if we're at the point where we have to split entrees with my children, let's just not go out to this restaurant.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say, let's not go to Disney.
Or yeah, or that. Yeah. Or like, dude, I am plugged into this. I'm sure you're probably just by saying Disney or the fact you guys are planning a trip, I'm sure you're
Yes.
plugged into this algorithm too. But these videos that they show of parents at Disney World or Disneyland, and they're running up the bill, and they're at the breakfast, and they have like $600 breakfast tabs, and then they have the $40 lightsabers or whatever, and all this merch that they're buying, and I'm like, it scares the shit out of me. Like I don't think going to Disneyland is the same as I remember. Even when I was living in California, I think it's a different experience.
Well, we were going to the Florida one.
Oh, the Florida one. Okay. Is that better or worse, do you
That's
think?
probably way more. Well, I mean, it's way bigger. It's like
Yeah.
Disney World.
Do you spend like 2 weeks? How long do you go?
We're gonna they have different parks like Magic Kingdom and I don't know what any of them are called, but
Epcot.
Epcot's one. We're
That's
going to
the
four
boring one.
different. We got 4 different ones.
Skip Epcot.
Okay.
That's the one where it's all about like peace and the other countries and stuff. There's no rides. Don't go there.
Okay.
Go to
We'll go to Star Wars Land or whatever.
Star Wars Land.
Yeah. So we're 4 days in Disney, and then I gotta ask my buddy about
Crashing on his couch.
We want to just stay on. We just want to stay on a beach somewhere, and we don't know which.
Oh, okay.
Look for an Airbnb. But there's another thing. Speaking of Disney, and I told him that I would talk about it on the Cavalry because my brother Luke, when he was 1 year old, him and my brother Ben were 1 year old, less than one. They were almost one. And my parents took the rest of us, the 5 other kids, to Disney World. They were less than one, so they stayed with grandma and grandpa in Chicago.
Yeah.
He is annoyed that they checked it off their list. Like, okay, we did Disney. We don't have to do it.
Oh,
He's like, I was like, you wouldn't, even if you went, you wouldn't remember. He's like, that's not the point. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm saying they should have gone again with us.
Yeah, I kind of
you got 7 kids.
Yeah, no, I mean that. Well, but okay, I'm with your brother here. I gotta be on. I'm backing Luke up.
Oh, he'll like to hear that
Because, yeah, you had 7 kids, but that's like part of having 7 kids.
Yeah, but
you know what I mean.
So yeah, but
you gotta take. You can't take 4 of the kids to Disneyland and not the other. Like this. That's like torture.
It's not torture though.
Just don't take your other kids to Disneyland. It's a simple solution.
The simple and even simpler solution is just don't tell them that we ever went.
There's like pictures in your big mouth. You're gonna talk about, hey, Splash Mountain was fun. But have you seen that Nate Bargatze bit where he talks about wanting to take his daughter to Disneyland and she's really young and his friends are like, no, don't do it. She won't even remember it. And he's like, but I want her to, like, she loves it. She thinks Mickey Mouse is real. She has joy on her face. Am I just not supposed to do anything with my kid? Hey, do you remember anything from yesterday? No, back in the box. It is so funny. And a great point. I mean, like, you're supposed to like just enjoy your life in the moment anyway, you know. Memories are like for losers. Shouldn't be sitting around remembering what a great.
I thought you were going to say something beautiful, like something poetic. Memories are for losers.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that on an Etsy pillow. Memories are for losers. Yeah, welcome to the lake house. But yeah, I'm scared. I'm just saying it now because I'm sure we'll want to take our daughter to Disneyland one day, but I'm very scared of it. I do have great memories of. I mean, we went a couple times when I was a kid.
So the California one or the Florida one?
The California one. We did go. We went to Disney World once, and I was a little older and a little more jaded, but it was cool. I remember being
like, you knew Goofy was fake.
Well, I was like, yeah, I knew Goofy wasn't really Goofy. I was like in 7th grade. So, yeah, this is all a bunch of bullshit. No, but that'll be fun. Oh, good content when you guys go on this trip.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh
can't
my
wait.
god. I am. Yeah, I am. I'm just worried. I'm worried that I'm gonna have so much pressure that I'm putting because it's gonna be so expensive. It's gonna be the most expensive trip ever.
And you can't
And
eye
I'm just gonna be
roll.
like, no
You,
fucking fighting. You're having a good time. I'm
well,
having a good time.
it
It's gonna
is.
be Clark Griswold.
It's all these stereotypes and like sort of archetypes and things like they all just turn out to be true, and then we all go through them. It's all like the Vegas, not Vegas Vacation, but the what's the original National
Yeah,
Lampoon,
just
the Chevy Chase movies. It's just like all real. It's just all like
yeah.
it still holds up.
In fact, there's the poster.
Oh, there it is, right there. Yeah.
Look at that. Yep.
Uh,
No,
I
but I'm
think the key, but what you can't. That's the thing. It's like if you go, you're doing it right now. You're splitting entrees, you're saving your money.
oh, we're not good. Yeah, we're not gonna do that when we get there. When we get there, it's gonna be
No, you just
this
go
is
for
we're
it,
dead. After this trip, we're being murdered. So let's just have a good time.
and
And
you
then we'll
can't
deal with the
you can't eye roll any checks. And then when the kids, I'm telling you, everyone talks about these lightsabers. Like there's some though they custom make you a lightsaber and it costs like $1 million or something. But I guarantee your kids are gonna want one.
uh, I
So
will
there you
just
go.
kind of circumvent that display. We'll just go behind it or something so they don't see it.
Oh my god! Speaking of which, I went for a walk this morning ish with my daughter and my mother-in-law. But in Portland, it's very charming. These houses, and they're very sweet. Like it's very hippy dippy, obviously. And so outside their house, sometimes they'll leave little fairies and little action figures and toys and then other ones it's the more like we have a swing out front or basketballs, and they just leave it out in front of the yard, which
Yeah.
seems very endearing. And when we first moved to this neighborhood, I was like, oh man, this is the kind of place you want to live. But then when you're walking a 2-year old and you're trying to get home, and every third house has like a dinosaur in front of it or a horse, or you're
Yeah.
like, oh my god, it's like taking her through 15 toy stores to go one
Oh
block.
yeah.
You're never going to get anywhere. So I
Yeah.
keep having to bend down and like, can you guys just put all your toys back in your own goddamn house? It's driving me
Yeah.
crazy today.
Ah, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That.
So the key to having children is keeping them away from anything that they might like
Yeah.
at all times, because they're just going to want more of it. It's like when you think you're like actually engaging. You ever actually engage with your kids?
Oh, I
Like,
did that one. I think I did that once. Yeah.
yeah, I thought so. And you're playing a game. Maybe you play a game. Maybe you're so good and in the moment, and you're being creative, and you come up with a brand new game, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
she loves it. Oh, this is so great. She loves this stupid new game I just invented. Then it's torture. It immediately becomes torture because they want it again and again, and they never
Yeah.
want you to quit. And you're like, why in this new game did I make up a thing where I have to physically get up and down and run around in a circle? Like I'm exhausted. But if I quit, she's gonna throw a tantrum.
And then
I
you try
should
to
have
get them
just sat
excited
down.
about like you just try to get them excited about you laying down and like
Right.
doing something else. That's
We play a
relaxed.
lot of like pretending to go to sleep, a lot of bedtime, a lot of doctor's office. We do a lot of that.
That's what I tried last night. I was like, all right, we're gonna have a contest. We're gonna see who can go fall asleep, and if you wake up, whoever wakes up first loses.
Yeah.
She's like, okay. And then after like 5 seconds, she was like, no, this is boring. Dang it.
We're gonna play the paralysis game. Everyone lay on the floor and don't move. If you move,
You
you
lose.
lose.
And there's no timeouts. Because that's their big thing is they'll be like, can we do I'm like, no, there's no T's. Dad doesn't do T's. No timeouts. You just gotta be
That is
statue.
so funny. I had forgot about timeouts in that context, but with the quiet game, we used to do timeout. Like, okay, it's the quiet game. You don't realize you're being manipulated, but then it was totally like timeout, and then you want to like tell some story. Like the whole point is to keep that story in your head.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
lose.
Yep. No timeouts.
Anyway, well,
Anyway, well,
what else?
should we get into topic? Let me see if I
Let's
have
just
any
get into
other.
topics.
Let me see
I'm
if I have
ready.
any discussion.
Was there anything we needed to discuss?
I don't think so.
All right, then let's do it.
I'm looking at my old ones.
Oh, another quick discussion, pre-show discussion point.
What?
I had a show Friday in Portland. It's right by our house. Got these food carts, kind of like a little bar show type thing. It was fun enough, but because it was so close to our house at these food trucks, my wife and our neighbor came. And then at the end, it's one of these shows. It's like a free show, but they have like a tip jar. Do you ever do
Yeah.
those? I mean, give this.
No, I never.
You've never done a show where they have a tip jar? That's big in Portland.
I mean, not where that's your exclusive pay, like a free show with the tip jar.
They don't charge a cover. I mean, the show's going to pay you what they
Oh
pay
yeah,
you
yeah. So I
regardless.
have had where they're like, "Oh, here's what we got in the bucket." Yeah, but I thought you meant like a you're just doing the whole thing for tips.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure I've done that too. I don't know.
Hmm.
No, I'm no Elvis like you, but the so they pass around the tip jar, but it is like I go last on a lot of these types of shows, and then it's like always they pass around the tip bucket right before I go up. I find it very distracting. But
Oh, so
anyway,
they're like passing it around during
it's
your
their
set.
last chance to pass it around,
Yeah,
and so I don't know. You
yeah.
have to like comment on it. It's kind of stupid, but anyway, my wife gave $1 in the tip jar. Talk about trying to save money. I was like, you realize you just took that dollar and you just turn it into 25 cents. I'm gonna get 25 cents of that dollar. You could have just bought me a Diet Coke on the way home. That was
Ah,
it.
well,
When's the last time Erin's been to one of your shows?
she went to the Madison show.
Oh, she did. Oh, that's
Yeah,
so
and it
cool.
had been a while. It had been a while
Yeah,
before
it's
that.
so hard once you have
But we had
kids.
grandma coming to town. Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
talk about that. So it was fun.
Yeah, the show was great. It was really fun. I brought Dana Ehrman to feature, and she's super hilarious. I've done lots of shows with her, and then my buddy Rich Diamore hosted, and he's fun. He's funny, and so it was just great. It was just really fun. All of our neighborhood friends went,
You sell
and
some tickets.
did I what?
What did we do on tickets? Did you sell out?
It was not 100% sold out, but it was very like it was the main body of it, except for like the back of the
Sold
L.
out.
Yeah, so it was sold out.
You see these
There's a
guys on Instagram.
third.
Every
There's a
show sold
third.
out. Sold out. Hey, we
Yeah,
sold out. They just take the picture from like.
right.
Doesn't matter how many tickets you can always make it look sold out if you just zoom way in.
My what happened with my record? Oh, my camera died. They record it,
Yeah,
so I'll be getting the recordings from them. But I filmed it myself just so I could have it right away and make clips, whatever. And battery died after 6 minutes.
that's the thing. It's always something with those cameras because you're like, if your battery's not charged, then it's or if your battery's charged and then your SD card is about to be filled up, and
Yeah,
if your charged battery and the SD card is good, then a waitress is gonna like put a tray of drinks in front of your camera for
yeah.
an hour and a half.
But it was fun. It was
Yeah. Well, that's great. I did a show, the show in Everett last weekend, and they filmed it. And this
Who
guy
did you do
who's
that? Was it you and a buddy?
yeah, well, there's a guy named Corey Michaelis, and I think he normally just hosts it, but like
Oh,
this was the month he kind of uh we like co-headlined it basically. And so but there was this other kid, I forget his name, but he's like, he films comedy specials and he was just there. He was on the show and then he was just going to film it. So I got this really sick looking tape, but then I'm like going through it. I'm like, every joke, I said something in some way, or like had an unnecessary curse word, or there was just something in every single joke where I'm like, wow, I don't want to. That's useless. That's useless. I do
It's
that way better now. Like that was too new, and now I do it better. And it's like great quality, but I don't know what to do
yeah.
with it.
Oh, that's frustrating.
I'm just in a slump with that. I don't know. I got to get back to filming shows. I kind of quit that.
That's so tough because now you have to film it. Like that's only half the pain in the ass. Then you have to go through and make the clip.
Get it
Post.
off the camera. Just getting it off the camera's torture for me because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to watch it. To see my stupid face. Why am I sweating? I think that the whole time. Why are you sweating? I sweat so much now. I never used to sweat on stage. I swear to God, I never sweat on stage. And now, like, I'm like
That's weird.
Cedric the Entertainer up there or something. I'm just like, just like, I need a towel.
Oh my!
Like
Did you
earthquake.
recently go through puberty?
Yeah, I think I went through, or like whatever the what is it called as a man? Are there changes late in life as a man? I can't remember.
What, like the male equivalent to menopause?
Yeah, is there a male
Midlife
menopause?
crisis?
Dying? I think I'm dying.
Huh. I don't know.
I don't know. But anyway, I'm very sweaty these days and I don't like it.
Nice. Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. But you have a topic?
R RP
Yeah.
RP hole should be bigger so RP can come out faster. That
This
was
this is
that's
what the
what
show
I re
this is why we started the podcast.
that's an old one and it must have been voice to text because it says RP, the letters RP and then hole WHOLE should be bigger so RP can come out faster. And I was reading that over like, what the hell
RP.
was I talking about?
I know what
Who's
you're trying to
RP?
say. RIP this podcast because we're officially out of ideas.
No, I have ideas. I do. I was looking at an old one. Okay.
I wonder if that will be like a stage of evolution though, where you're like, you know, the pee holes will get bigger.
Well, that's what I mean. Like your whole urethra is going to have to be wider. But like, because like right now, like you ever hold your pee so long that you're standing at the toilet peeing when you can finally go, and you're peeing and you're thinking, I have to pee real bad, and I'm peeing.
And you're peeing. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So if we had like big huge pee holes, and our
Or what
urethra
about
were
just like,
huge, we
yeah,
could just kind of like dump it out like diarrhea out of our wiener.
right. Or it's like literally like a trap door on the end of your dick. And you just
Yep.
pull a lever and it just goes and just all
Yeah, your head.
falls
Yeah,
out.
your head just comes up.
But I think the problem with that is it'd be very messy. The reason why it probably goes the way it does is so you can aim it.
No, well, yeah, but we would adapt. Like women, if their urethra was I'm not singling out men. Like they're covered. They're sitting over the toilet, and their pee just drops out like a trap door. They're over the toilet, so they're good.
So we would
And
just be
for us,
sit
we
down
would
and
have
pee.
like we could sit down and pee, or it could be more. You kind of put your wiener in the thing instead of just kind of point it at a thing.
Yeah.
Like
All
here's a
right.
urinal now. When you're peeing like this, it could be like you kind of put your wiener and it's just all encompassing, and you just dump it in there like it's a big tall bowl.
And this and this would save you countless seconds of your life. Think of all the time you'd get back.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to like stadiums when you were a kid where they literally had like the
Trough.
troughs
Yeah.
where they weren't separated urinals, but everyone could just budge in at shoulder to shoulder and pee in the same long trough?
Yep.
I did this kind of fair type gig a while back and they had that. And I was like, oh my God, I've not seen this in so long. And then they had the big
Did you try to take
circle.
a picture of it for
Yeah, I
memories?
was like, hey,
Like
everybody,
9
I'm going to take a
guys.
selfie. Lean in here.
Don't worry, guys. I'll pixelate them all out.
And then they had your faces, I mean. And then they had the big circular wash your hands thing where you step,
Oh yeah, I
use your
step on the
foot to step
pedal.
on it, and then like three pathetic, talk about slow streams.
Oh
Three
shit.
little barely waters streams come out, and then
Yeah.
the dry soap is not working, and it's like, man, this
Uh,
is very
Old
nostalgic. And
fashioned.
I had an idea because like these stadiums are now are all like state of the art and brand new, and
Yep.
that should be like a thing. Like they should have like they have throwback uniforms. They should have a throwback bathroom. Like one bathroom in the stadium's like this is the old school disgusting trough pisser. And
If
if
you
you
want to
want
see
to
a
go,
bunch of guys' dicks, come in
if you
here.
want to see a bunch of guys' dicks, use this bathroom. And the line would probably be shorter. I mean, it probably was more efficient.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always the worst. You go up to a urinal and you can tell someone just pull out their pinch of chew and
Oh
just
God,
put it
that's
in the
such an
urinal.
NFL thing. Only
Uh,
in all you describe that. And I'm like, only in NFL stadiums do I see. You never see that at like the airport.
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's never a problem at the Ruth's Chris Steakhouse bathroom. The I took a bus. I don't know what made me. Oh, we just like talk about the class differences.
Yeah.
I was gonna take the train to Seattle because I couldn't use the car. Heidi needed the car, and I love taking the train. I was so looking forward to taking the Amtrak Portland to Seattle. It's like the perfect distance. It's very relaxing. But then there was a Taylor Swift concert in Seattle, so like everything was sold. Amtrak was sold out. I got this bus ticket. The bus was packed,
Uh,
and I don't know why, because you would think the price difference is not that much different from a bus ticket to a train ticket,
you know.
but the clientele just could be, they're from two different planets. People who take buses like self-select as like, we don't deserve to be on the good transit options.
Oh,
We
trains,
have to
the
be on a
good
bus.
transit.
They don't look at the sun, they're like all Quasimodo or whatever on the bus. And then they're all listening to they're all watching their screens at like no one has
Oh
headphones.
God.
Not, but like when one person on a plane doesn't, and everyone's kind of looking around like, who's going to be the one to say, who's going to
Right.
tell her that she doesn't have her headphones in, and then eventually somebody, flight attendant, usually someone says.
Yeah.
That's annoying, but at least it's one. When on the bus, it's competing volumes from every different corner of the. It's this cacophony of bad
Oh
YouTube
God.
videos and Instagram reels and stuff, and you're like, oh, I want to kill. And then I'm like turning my AirPods up all the way to try and drown it out.
Cancel it out. Oh God. That sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah, don't take the bus.
Why
I
didn't
mean,
you
take the
drive?
city bus, but
Why
not
didn't you
the,
drive?
because Heidi needed the car. We only have one car.
Oh.
Yeah. And I really, it doesn't bother me. Normally I'll either rent a car. I could have rented a car, I guess, but I was like, I just had my head set like, I'm gonna use like, you know,
Yeah,
transit. I'm gonna
America.
be
Yeah.
like a transit guy. I'm gonna take the train, and then I'm gonna take the light rail, and I'm gonna take, and I should have probably just rented a car because it would have been like the same price.
Yeah. I get
Again,
this.
same thing. The bus ticket was like $60. A one-way car rental, I think, was like $60. The bus is self-selecting. Like all these people could have just had their own car, but like, nah, I don't. I have to do. I
I'm
gotta
not
get on
good
a
enough.
bus.
Or they all have DUIs or something.
Well, now you're hinting on something there.
What? How?
How dare you
How,
accuse
how,
these
how is
bus
that?
people? No, you're exactly right. I didn't think of that. You just ruined my whole thesis, but you're right. That's exactly why everyone on that bus was on that bus, except for me, which is they all had multiple DUIs. I'm sure that's what it was.
Maybe all their wives had their cars.
Otherwise, had their cars.
Could be.
Uh, oh, did you have a topic that wasn't
Okay, so
pee
this
hole
is
related?
not pee hole related. I think underpants. Now this I'm not sold on myself, but I saw an ad for remember our old sponsor Shinesty or Shinesty, the underpants people.
Dr. Squatch?
Nope,
No,
Shinesty.
Shinesty.
Like
Who's Dr. Squatch?
Yep, here's a totally different brand. We
Oh,
did the Dr. Squatch, but then we also did
their
Shinesty.
deodorant.
Two,
Yeah.
two different ones. So, but they advertise that our underpants are the firmest and the funniest because they have like a bald eagle, they have a hot dog, and I just don't think when it comes to underpants, you don't need to be funny. Like,
No.
who wants funny underpants? You know, I
Nobody,
did when I was in 5th grade before I
fifth
knew what a
grade.
boner was. But like, man,
Plus, like the funniest underpants you could get now would be like just like the throwback. If you could find like 90s big dog boxers
yeah,
now, that would be pretty funny.
yeah.
But whatever Shinisty's doing, well, I mean, what's the joke? Like you said, it's an
The joke
eagle.
is that your penis is a hot dog because it's got a hot dog bun, and it's those underpants where you stick your
Yeah.
penis and balls in the pocket.
Can
And
you
so it's like
imagine?
out.
I mean, can you really? There's probably somebody out there who didn't get laid because they wore those. Like it was like
Yeah,
a first date. Maybe they
that's what I'm
forgot.
talking about.
They forgot they even wore them for
Yeah,
that date because it's like laundry day or whatever. And then it gets down to it, and then she sees your stupid hot dog peanut. And you're like, I
is that
can't
a
do
corn
this.
dog in your pants?
I can't do this.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm backing you up. You don't need funny.
Yeah,
Just be
It's-
funny.
yeah, exactly.
If you're getting any of your sense of humor from
Your undergarments.
brands or just just in general, like bumper stickers,
Yeah,
t-shirts, although you should buy comedian stuff.
right.
But other than that,
If your funny anecdote is just recalling a progressive commercial you saw earlier in the
yeah. Or I mean, we this might be one we've already talked about, but speaking in memes, like you know how like when I was in college, everyone would just quote old school. That was your whole personality. It's
yeah,
just who could do the most movie quotes.
yeah,
But now I'll listen to podcasts sometimes a lot of sports people, and they'll be like, it's like that meme of the guy looking over his shoulder, and this, like, they're like verbally explaining, just say what you're gonna say. You don't have to say it's like a meme.
yeah.
It drives me crazy.
Yeah.
It's like that meme of the guy who makes the face and he's shocked. Just say you're shocked. It's like the Spider-Man meme of the two people pointing at, and they're both Spider-Man. You mean they're similar? You mean you could just use your words? You're using your words now to describe a thing that's supposed to be a shortcut for not using words.
Uh,
Okay, but
what
I'm
do you
backing
need
you
backup
up.
on?
And this is the one. Okay, so I was like, this could be a bit. This could be a joke
Oh, okay. Oh,
where you
great.
could you could knock it out of the park. All right,
Yeah,
but so this is. Let me just start with the serious part.
sure.
But
So the urethra should
the
be
urethra should be bigger. Have we talked about this already? Have I talked about this before? Uh, so like you've talked about, what was your take on cooking? I forget. You don't enjoy cooking, right?
it's too much work
It's too
for
much work.
just eating it. You're
Okay,
gonna
so
shit
this
it out.
you'll back me up on this because here's I will admit I could see why it would be fun to cook if you're like, you have you're just like putting shit in a bowl, a sauce, and you're just making it up as you go. And you drop a little salt in and you taste it. And like that
Uh-huh.
looks romantic. You're listening to music.
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
Yeah.
That looks calming, maybe. I get it. People say that. But recipes, there's nothing fun about following a recipe.
Right.
That's like homework. And I think that was like kind of what you were saying, right? Because it's like,
Yes. It's
yeah.
like, yeah.
But here I'm basically taking that, but I'm getting maybe one step more specific, which is if you're gonna write a recipe, why can't they just write it all out in order, exactly what you have to do, step for step? Because the way that works now is they'll list all the ingredients you need at the beginning,
Yep.
and then the amounts, so
Yep.
like 3 cups of flour, 1 cup of oil, whatever. Then in the directions, they'll be like, okay, take your flour and And it's like now it's like a quiz
Yeah.
to see if I studied the ingredients. And now I'm on my phone, I'm scrolling back. Okay, wait, how many flours, how many cups of
That's an
flour? And
excellent point. I've run into that myself.
you know what I mean? And it's
You
like,
got to go back and forth from the directions to the quantity.
and they're like, oh, we don't want to repeat ourselves. It's very arrogant. It's like, well, if you would have studied, you would know how many cups of flour, and it's like, just
Are
say
they,
it again.
yeah,
Just
they're
why
like
not just say
assuming
it again?
they're assuming you're portioning it before. Like I got my little bowl of this amount measured out and this measured out and this measured out. That's not how I work.
Not how, not what you forget is I only have one measuring cup. I literally
Right.
have one measuring cup of one
Yeah.
size. I have one cup measuring cup in my whole house. And I just use that. When it says half, I just fill that up half. And when it says quarter, I just eyeball it and fill that up quarter. I
Yeah.
don't have other cups. That's it.
Yeah. It's a pain in the ass. I measure out my oil, pour it, and then my fucking measuring cup's covered in oil, and I'm supposed to measure flour next in a
Yeah.
oil soaked.
Yeah. So just my plea would be, okay, do your stupid ingredient list at the beginning so you can go shopping ahead of time.
Yeah.
Again, I've never even done that before, but just whatever. But then just write out, just say it again in the description. So, like, why would it be so hard to say, take 2 cups of flour
Yep.
and then,
Take your 2 cups of flour
yeah.
that we mentioned earlier.
Okay. So so you're backing me up. I
Yeah,
take it.
that's a great point, and I've run
Great
into
point. Thank you. So wait, so here was the joke. So then I was like writing that in my notebook a little bit. Then I was like, and then there's something that too about maybe following a recipe in the old days was like kind of romantic because you have the card, and it was your grandmother's recipe in an old in her handwriting, but that's not how it is anymore. Now we're all just typing it into our phones, the first one on Google. And it's like, okay, I'm gonna make pork chops. And I just type in POR. And then it's like, whoa, no, that's not what I wanted to make. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As it goes to Pornhub. But then I was like, oh, let me make something else. And then like the Johnny twists, I think you already see it coming, but instead of doing another like chicken cut and then it also autofills to the whatever, you just be like,
Yeah.
let me make something else. Grandma's big titty chicken or whatever. Like it'd be the over the top
Right.
other way. And I was like, that's such a Johnny joke, but I was like, maybe he'll have a better.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. You know what? I like Grandma's big titted, whatever that was.
Grandma's big titty chicken. All right, we'll try
Grandma's big titty chicken.
that.
That's pretty good. That's pretty
It's
good.
a lot. It's very hard to turn a simple recipe premise into a disgusting grandma tit joke. But there you go.
There you did it. I saw a video. This is not a meme. So the video of like kids preparing like the chicken, and they're trying to pull out and they're like, oh, is that stuffing? I don't think it's stuffing. What is it? And they pull it out and it was another chicken. Like the chicken was pregnant or something.
Wait a minute.
Chickens can't be pregnant. They have eggs. I just
gonna...
they did. They pulled the chicken out. That's weird.
So someone just stuffed the chicken in a chicken.
Yeah, that must be what it was.
Yeah, wow. Chickens lay eggs.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm almost certain. Hey, what was this video you watched?
Can we edit this out? I don't know. It was this girl and her sister. They were like, preparing a chicken.
It was a raw chicken.
They were pulling. It was like a rotisserie chicken. You got to pull the shit like.
Yeah, but it wasn't cooked already. It was raw.
Yeah.
Do you know the difference?
I don't know. You can't tell looking at it.
Was it like brown or was it like
no, it was
pale?
Like pale, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a raw chicken.
Yeah, it was like they were prepping it.
Yeah, and they pulled another raw chicken out of it. I'm sure it must be a factory thing.
Yeah.
Somehow. I don't know. Maybe someone was playing a joke on them. Or
Wow.
maybe they just did that ahead of time. Do you ever think like this is where you get mad because I'm saying it's
you know what though? Yes, but I do it and I think 98% of the videos I see are staged.
And that's okay because we're still talking. Look, it got us talking.
Right.
It got us wondering, do chickens lay eggs?
Well,
Or do they give? Are
they
they
don't.
pregnant?
They don't.
No. Who
Figured it out
knows?
immediately after I said it out loud.
Well, I've never actually seen a chicken lay an egg. I've seen now or heard of a chicken giving birth. At least on some video you watched. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. That's it.
That's it. I was waiting. Hey, it's an audience. It's like, oh, they said it. Yeah.
No, that's it. We did it.
That's
Hey,
it.
so
up,
shows Seattle. It's coming up for me. I'll be at Laughs Comedy Club, August 25th and 26th.
Noise. All right, folks. I will be
Not
in
again.
Madison at the Burr Oak as part of Madison Comedy Week. Burr Oak. I'm doing Laugh GPT. And I have a feeling there's a format to that show that I'm hoping I get told about soon. And then
Hopefully the format is that you go up and do stand up.
and I think
Don't
they
you-
sent out a thing.
Don't you always wish
it's
that
gonna
when
be
they're like,
some
"Hey,
weird-
we have this concept show," and you're like, "Okay, could I be the part where you just do the comedy and then everybody else can do the weird part?"
Yeah.
No, but
And
you're
then
more
Saturday.
creative.
Saturday I'm in Comedy on State as part of the Best of the Fest
festival.
showcase.
Awesome.
10 p.m. show on Saturday, the 12th.
Great. So check that out if you're in the area. If you're in Seattle, come see me. And thanks for listening, everybody.
To
To the cavalry.
the cavalry.